Welcome to another episode of AniBreak, the show where we break down the hottest topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and this week I'm going to split it between my, well, I was normally going to say my description, but I'm going to go with rants this time. Rants about some of the latest anime to broadcast, as well as some gaming news that came out of CES. I'm going to touch on the gaming part very briefly because I know I'll talk about it more in detail on Sunday's show, so to give you a taste of what's going to happen. So let's get to work on some anime news. Before we get to the my thoughts about the latest anime, I want to showcase a really cool trailer. So the director of the famous movie Akira, Katsuhiko Otomo, actually has a new work called Combustible, and it's a small short. It's part of like a collaboration he's done with a bunch of other people, and believe it or not, it's actually one of the 10 films to get an Oscar nod for animated short. So there actually is a chance for something from Japan to actually win Best in Animated Short. Again, it's going to go against Pixar. We'll see what happens to it. I have not heard anything about this until I saw the trailer a couple days ago and went, holy crap, I need to check this out. It has a pretty epic pedigree when it comes to people who've worked on this. Not only do you have the director, Katsuhiko Otomo, I was mistakenly said his name earlier. It is produced by Studio Sunrise, so if anybody's watched any of your favorite Gundam series, they're the only people that actually worked on that. You had people who worked on Freedom, Super Robot Wars, and even Redline had to help out on this piece. Now, the film itself is only about 13 minutes long. I gotta say, I gotta find this and watch this. If you guys know where, I'm sure there's a legal place where you can probably buy it somewhere and import it. I would love to see this. There are a bunch of frames you can find on Crunchyroll. They actually went through and got some screenshots. The level of detail in it is, part of me wants to say stunning, but the other part of me wants to say some of the things that are very intricately detailed is all CG. But you know what? It still works. I think it looks amazing. So, and it's one of the 10 short animated works nominated for Best Animated Short for the Oscars. I'll be happy if that actually wins. But, alright. Just wanted to throw that out there right off at the beginning. Let's talk about what's been happening with the latest anime. Technically, we're still in the winter anime season. I guess this is winter season part 2, or just the second half of it. There has been a lot of trailers and announcements of new series and continuations of classic series for all of 2013. The only problem with that is that you get all hyped up at the end of 2012 and beginning of 2013 thinking, I'm going to start this year off with some epic anime. But apparently all that good stuff's not going to start till like April or May or maybe even October. So you got quite a ways for some of the really good stuff. But that does not stop from anime to be, released right at the beginning of the year. There are a couple that I'm waiting for. Tamako Market, the latest from KyoAni, from Kyoto Animation, I should say. I haven't seen that yet. I think it starts yesterday, something like that. So I've yet to watch an episode of that. It hasn't been really announced yet. I think maybe Crunchy got the announcement for the simulcast. Could be Funimation, not sure. But I did sit down and actually watch a couple series first episodes. And kind of unique this time around for this month. Well, let's talk about these manga series. Now, I'm not going to talk about Bakuman. This is actually, I'm going to talk about two series that, well, one's about a group of girls who want to make draw manga, and the other is a group of girls who want to produce a manga magazine. The problem with each of these series, the first one, I'll show you the image. On the left side, that one's called Almami, and the one on the right is Mangirl. So, okay, you have high school girls who want to do something about manga. Okay, I'll be happy. I'll bite. Right off the bat, these series are only, for that, each episode is only 3 minutes long or less. And I'm thinking, oh, not again. I was never really a big fan of these really short series. Most for the sole fact that there's one right now based about a tennis player trying to teach a friend, and it's so crazy that I can barely keep up with it. And it's only 2 minutes long, an episode for that series. So, I mean, some people might look at this as, hey, they didn't have enough money to actually create a full, we'll say full, 13 episode at 24 minutes a pop. I completely understand that. Other people might consider this to be lazy. For me, it's whatever the reason behind it, it's just not for me. Like I said, each of these episodes for part 1 are just 3 minutes long. And that's how each episode of the entire series is going to be. So I guess these are things that if you wanted to check them out, you can do it if you're waiting for a bus somewhere and you have your phone, you can easily watch these series. I guess you can look at it that way. Well, some of the other series I actually was able to sit down and watch. Last night, I decided to watch episode 1 of something called The Unlimited. And I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from this series. Granted, when I read the premise, the gist of it is a story about superpowered espers and their plight to gang up and do something. It was not impressive to me whatsoever. The animation, I mean, it was smooth, I'll give it that. It had some nice detail. The story just did not grab me whatsoever. And the whole thing that happens in the first episode, you have this apparently ultra-powered Esper, blows up, like 4 or 5 different helicopters, then turns himself in to go to this island that apparently could use, like, some field to block the Esper's powers, and that if they want to get off the island, they either die or have to go to what's called the hospital, which they're going to die and be experimented on anyways. Yeah. It was, like, I knew exactly what was going to happen within the first 45 seconds of the series. And yeah, it just was not for me. Now, for those of you out there who like the overly superpowered battles, you'll probably enjoy this. I mean, they do have a couple moe characters if you're into that, but yeah, it wasn't really for me. Let me talk about this episode 1 of the series that I was really looking forward to. The full title is Bakumatsu Gijin Den Roman, if you want to say it that way. A lot of people phrase this as Lupin III in the Edo period, and when you first look at it, a lot of people were pretty right about that. Especially for the sole fact that all the character designs were by Monkey Punch, who worked on Lupin III. So you have this main character, Roman. By day, he's just a normal guy, but by night, he's what the people call the Roman, I think, get-backer, where he goes out and gets all the poor people's stuff back from them. Basically, almost like an Edo period Robin Hood. There's some good action scenes, some really good action scenes, actually. Dialogue is funny. Don't go into this series thinking it's Lupin III in Edo period. It may look like it, but if you're expecting that slapstick style non-stop, you only get part of that, maybe 10% of the first episode. So go in there with the open mind, and you might enjoy it. Until it got to the end of the episode, where I have never seen a series jump the shark so goddamn fast. I will not spoil it, but what the hell happened? I remember watching it going, okay, cool. He goes out there, he's going to go after this emperor, and he has evil minions, and he's going to go beat them and free the people, or at least get their stuff back, and then jumps the freaking shark. I'll just say this. Even the music in the final scene will remind you of another series, not Lupin, and you'll be wondering, did I just flip the channel or something? It was kind of funny. So, will I keep on watching Roman? Probably. Just because it's just that random. The Unlimited, I don't know. Like I said, I normally give series about 4 or 5 episodes before I start, before I give up on them. I'll probably get through the 4 or 5 episodes, and then at that point, I will probably either like it to the point where I'll continue watching it, or I will go back and watch Love Love Total Eclipse because I promised Michael I would give it another shot. So I will find something to watch during that time frame. Yes, Michael in the chat, and I still haven't given Total Eclipse yet. No. Going back to what I was talking about earlier about how at the beginning of the year all these companies made huge announcements for some epic series that I think is gonna be epic for later on this year. A couple that I'm looking forward to: Attack on Titan. We showcased the trailer for it, a pretty amazing trailer for it, on Front Mother's Basement a few weeks ago. It definitely got the hype going. It definitely has that going for it. I read the first volume of the manga. Really, really good stuff. Great dialogue. Artwork was amazing. The company that's actually producing it is a sub-company of Production IG. So you got your mix of high-quality hand animation mixed in with CG. And considering the story is all about humans fighting these giants who are coming to basically eat them, you can expect at least some decent battle sequences. That one's not going to start, I believe, until April. Another series I'm actually looking forward to, I guess you can call it a guilty pleasure, Oreimo Season 2. This is a series that I remember enjoying the first season and thought that was it for the animation. I mean, there's a couple OVAs. You can go watch the good and bad endings. But I instantly went out and actually started reading the manga. The manga got really good and definitely expanded beyond, well beyond what you experienced in the anime. Now that I know all that, though, I could be just fanboying and thinking, okay, now that I know what's going to happen in the manga, how are they going to go verbatim with the new season of the anime? I hope they say yes, because it will be great. It will be epic. I may be fanboying, but you know what? If you guys have read the manga or have at least enjoyed the first season of the anime, you'll probably be right there with me wanting more. Ah, yes. Talk about a series that doesn't seem that it wants to die because it keeps on spawning off different iterations of itself. Coming sometime in 2013, we have no idea when, there is going to be a brand new Higurashi. Its full title is Higurashi no Nako Koro ni Kaku. This one is set in the same village as the previous stories. The village has been completely sealed off due to a mysterious virus in 1983, and you have the characters dealing with the outbreak. If you're a fan of horror anime, well, for me, horror anime starts becoming comical very quickly for me. For example, the last episode of Another, that was just, I was laughing harder than I was scared. With Higurashi, I remember when I first started watching the first season, episode, I think it was 5, when they had to do the punishment game. The girl had the knife, the girl with the blue hair and the knife, and she started, yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was just hooked. I needed to keep on watching, and now they're going to continue on with this next one. Oh yes, it's going to be amazing. Looking at some of the other series that are going to come out this either the spring or the summer, like there is one, I'm going to screw up the title, I forget. It's Nami Uchigiwa. Essentially, it's all about what looks like a cute chibi mermaid, but she loves to drink. Okay. The art style reminds me heavily of Squid Girl. So if you're a fan of that, you'll probably enjoy it. I remember showcasing the preview for Samurai Brides, which is the sequel to 2010 Samurai Girls, which, okay, you have harem, all different archetypes, we'll call it that, and a generous use of ink blots. And if you guys enjoy that, you guys will enjoy that. For the rest of the series I've been seeing out there, it's kind of hit and miss for at least for me, at least. I mean, there's ones called Carnival, which just looks, the art style looks too much like Clamp, and while I enjoy Clamp stories, the artwork can go one way or the other on that. There's another one, Yu Yu Shiki, that just looks like they adapted a 4-Koma, but it's, I don't know, it looks too much of a rip-up of the popularity that was around Lucky Star. So, I don't know. Like I said, there are years where there are some really, really epic anime out there that just grab me from episode 1. The last series to do that for me was Psycho-Pass. And then there are years like this one that start off kind of on the weak side. But I mean, that's just me. You guys might think, Jason, you're a total moron, you don't know what you're talking about, and that might be the case, but I'm the one talking right now, so. But I'm hoping there's going to be some amazing anime, not just on TV, but also OVAs and movies. I'm hoping for a good year. If anything, it should be a good year for cons. We'll leave it at that. Excuse me. Okay. Before I jump into the CES gaming news, I want to talk about a couple different things. First off, you guys heard me time and time again talk about a Wii game called Muramasa. Muramasa is a side-scrolling 2D fighter, or side-scroller game. You control 2 characters, hack and slash. The great thing about it is it's absolutely gorgeous animation. And the fact that it's on Wii meant that not very many people stateside played it. It's that, you know, even though I don't have a Wii console, I know eventually I'll get a Wii U, so I'm actually hanging on to the game itself because it's just that good. However, it's been announced, and I'll play this in the background for you guys, that actually the full game is getting a port over to the PS Vita. And they're getting a little bit extra too, in the fact that they're going to include some DLC, some new missions, new characters. Yeah. Now, granted, Sony's already come out and stated that, you know what, the PS Vita didn't get all the level of sales that we wanted, but we're still going to keep it alive and make games for it and continue supporting it. So I'm hoping that means a drop in price. So yeah, that happens. This will be the first game that I get. Muramasa, the PS Vita port, is scheduled to hit Japan March 28th. I'm guessing shortly thereafter there'll be an announcement for stateside. If not, I will import this. I do not care. Oh man, game is just amazing. Kathy the Goth, first time watching the show. Thank you very much. I remember you from my previous show. I'm glad you're able to join. Like everybody else here, we're here every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Didn't want to interfere with any other shows out there. So, and congratulations, it is your birthday. Welcome to the other side. Let's talk about. We're going to talk about Capcom. Let's talk about Japan's love of huge box sets. We've talked about a number of gaming box sets in the past, either on this show or on From Mother's Basement on Sundays, like the Final Fantasy one and several others. Well, Capcom wants to get in the game as well, and it seems like an odd anniversary to release a box set, but what the hell. Capcom has announced the Biohazard 17th anniversary box set. Yes. Instead of 10, 15, 20, like you normally get for, you know, this setup, they go for the 17th year. okay, I guess. Now, that being said, it is a decent package. If you really enjoy Resident Evil, you're going to enjoy this because this comes with 7 games. But it's not going to be as elaborate as other gaming box sets. For example, only 3 of the games. Let me rephrase that. Yeah, well, there's going to be 3 discs in this box set, and about 3 or 4 of the games are going to be on the disc in physical form. The rest you have to download with codes that are included with the box set, which kind of takes away a little bit from the idea of the package. But here's what I look at it as. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, and I mean, we're talking HD remakes of Resident Evil 4, Code Veronica, and then all the classic ones. And this is all going to be on PS3. So if you want the PS1 versions of the director's cut of RE1, 2, and 3, those are going to be the ones you're going to download. But you still get it in HD, and the best part about this is the price. Previous massive box sets out there are $100, $150, $200, maybe $300, or even more. For the Resident Evil 17th anniversary package, it's currently priced at 89.90 yen. We're talking $100. Normal games, if you want to get Resident Evil 6, it's $60 right now, brand new. If you pay $40 more, you get the rest of the series. I mean, granted, some you have to download and some you actually have on disc. I think that's kind of a nice deal. I guess it's a kind of way to make up for... let me phrase that. I think the price is a good way to make up for the lack of substance. But hey, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, you're going to enjoy this. Okay. As we move on, I'm sure many of you have one of these. You have an iPad. So, you know, I have an iPad 2 here, and it's with me everywhere I go. And the gaming on it, let's just say the touch controls are only good for certain genres. Like I have some of the Ace Attorney games on here, and I play those to death. I absolutely love them. There is now a new game released for iOS in the States that you can buy for, I think, $3.99. So for $4, you can get this game. Visual Arts localized a version of Planetarian, Dream of a Little Star. This is a visual novel by the group Key, which actually worked on Canon, Air, Angel Beats, Little Busters, all that stuff. So this one, what they're calling it a post-apocalyptic kinetic novel because there are no choices or alternate ending. Which makes me wonder, does that really call this a game then? I really don't know. I mean, okay, yes, it's cool to have a visual novel by Key on iOS for $4 legally. I like that idea. But I gotta say though, if the fact that they call it a kinetic novel, you can't make different choices or even an alternate ending, you can't get a good or bad ending, it makes me wonder why they even decided to bring this over in the first place. Now, if they decided to officially bring Canon, Air, Angel Beats, Little Busters, all those on iOS, yeah, I'd totally buy these in a heartbeat. And I'm sure many of you would do as well. And even if I had to pay like the average price for a decent game on or a high-end game, I should say, on an iOS store, which is like $14.99 for like the Final Fantasy Tactics game that I have. If I had a visual novel on the iOS for, you know, in that price range, I would totally buy it. Just because, to be honest, I haven't had a chance to play too many visual novels, just because I haven't really got around to it. And I have the iPad with me all the time, so, oh well. Will I pick this up? The fact that it's a kinetic novel, I mean, yes, I have, you know, I have a gift card to the iTunes store, but do I want to spend it on this when I can probably buy a game? I don't know. If you guys get it, please let me know, and maybe you guys can convince me yes or no on it. I'm still on the fence with it. Okay. Last thing before we get to the CES stuff. The gaming list has been, well, partially announced for EVO 2013, the gaming circuit. This actually took me by surprise. So here I am, checking out the lineup, and usually it's 8 games per year for the whole fighting competition. And I'm seeing some base stuff, Marvel vs. Capcom, Super Street Fighter 4, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter X Tekken. Okay, I can see this stuff. But you only look in there and you see there's 7. Where's the 8th one? They're doing a cool thing this year, that to select the 8th game, they're going to crowdsource it. But they also turned it into a donation. So what they've done, they have a list of games that you can actually vote for to actually become the 8th official game in the EVO 2013 lineup. But in order to do so, you must make a donation to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I think this is an awesome idea. It's a great way to raise money for a cause, and you get input on what games you or any other people who join the competitions have a chance of playing. And they go the gamut, including one that I was real surprised to see. I'll go full screen on this. So right off the bat, Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R, done. I right there, I was going to say, yes, we should totally go for that. But then they had Super Smash Brothers, Melee and Brawl. Then again, I just kind of button mashed that one, so. But there's, they have Skullgirl, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Darkstalkers 3, and then they had one here. My Little Pony Fighting is Magic, an indie private game that's still not even alpha release yet, is now in the possible lineup to being part of the EVO 2013 tournament roster. I went, holy crap, that's freaking awesome. I mean, yes, I'm a brony and whatnot. If you guys aren't, who cares? But the fact, if you can search, I think it's fightingismagic.com is the website. It's funny as hell that they've gotten to this point where people have put money in to actually possibly make this part of the EVO lineup. Now, I have to say, though, they've only made $5. So, actually, no, that's suggested donations. They don't even show what it actually has so far. Like, if I go to Guilty Gear Accent Core, it just says $5 is suggested donation. They don't give a listing that I can find. So I will put links up on Twitter, Facebook. I'll put it in the chat as well. So if you guys are very interested in the EVO circuit and you kind of want to help decide what the 8th game in this year's tournament is going to be, you can jump on, donate $5 to a good cause, and who knows, maybe the game you select actually will win. And if it's My Little Pony, I'm going to laugh my ass off, so. All right. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and jump into the CES news. Now, at CES, I mean, essentially, for those who don't know what it is, it's the Consumer or Computer Entertainment Showcase. I forget the full title. I forget. I apologize. Essentially, it's what E3 to video games is all their technology to CES. And it's in Las Vegas, and it's huge. I mean, you have everybody from auto manufacturers showing off their latest technology, crap loads of new TVs, sound systems, broadcasting gear, you name it. If it's powered, it's probably there at CES, all the new stuff. Last year's big trend was 3D. 3D TVs everywhere. This year, almost not a damn TV had 3D. They were all talking about the Ultra HD, or 4K resolution, 4 times the resolution of your current 1080p TV. Like, everyone's getting into it, including Vizio. Vizio announced like a 45-inch 4K TV for $849 for later this year. That's kind of crazy. We have no 4K content, but that's besides the point. Anyways, I'm going to talk more about that on From Mother's Basement on Sunday. What I want to get to, though, is NVIDIA. NVIDIA, has always been known to make some really epic gaming cards. I currently have a GTX 670 4 gig edition in my computer. since, I want to say 97, I've gone strictly NVIDIA. I went ATI before that and went, no. Couldn't do it anymore. But they also been working on their Tegra chips that actually kind of help out with graphics in the mobile division. And you've seen some cool stuff with the Tegra 3 chips last year. And some phones actually have the Tegra 3 now. Then this year they announced, excuse me, the Tegra 4. And I'm thinking, this is going to be amazing. It's a quad-core GPU for your phone or tablet. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. Well, they also tried to expand beyond that. First off, they announced this, the Grid gaming system. This is basically their foray into the cloud gaming architecture, where they can basically control all of your games from a single blade, and then they put 20 blades on a single rack. I mean, we have the ability of over 700 Xbox 360s, the power worth in, in these setup. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of power, and apparently you can buy these publicly if you really wanted to. Okay, that was okay for the back end. If you guys are working on that in the gaming industry, go for it. Good, there you go. But then they announced something that was weird, that came completely out of left field, and it was the complete surprise of CES for me. They announced that, we're tired of just, working on hardware and chips for other manufacturers. We want to make our own gaming system. Introducing NVIDIA Project Shield. This is their handheld system that is a beefy little son of a gun, I gotta say. I mean, it's obviously hosting the Tegra 4, completely custom architecture. This thing, a little bigger than your Xbox 360 controller. It comes with a 720p touchscreen, 5-inch I should say, touchscreen attached to it, so a clamshell. It does HDMI up to 4K resolution if your monitor can handle that. Not only is this game designed, or this little handheld designed to play a number of, Android games, but then they have this thing where they call the GeForce Experience software, where you can pipe your games that are currently on your high-end system and stream it to this device. Or if you have it hooked up to your TV, hooked up through there. It almost negates the need to buy a home theater PC in a sense if you want to play games on it. So I look at this and I go, okay, you guys, yeah, this completely just, took me by surprise. During the demo for it, they were showcasing a preview of a mech game, Hawken, that's going to be coming up on PS3 and Xbox 360 and PC. Really cool mech game. But they had a version running on this device, the Project Shield, hooked up via HDMI to one of their new 4K TVs, streaming in 4K resolution, and they showed an image, a dual shot of the screen that's on the controller and then the TV itself. The lag was barely there. It surprised the living hell out of me. Now, when it came to price, they didn't announce. When they came to when it's going to come out, all they said was sometime this year. That could mean anything. But they also came out later on and said they're not going to sell it for a loss, which means this thing can easily be $1,000. That's just me guessing. Who knows? But yeah, when we get more information about it, I'll go a little more in detail and give Michael's opinion on Front Mother's Basement this Sunday at 5 p.m. The other thing at CES I want to touch real quick is Valve. Valve has always been, rumored to be working on their own hardware, basically, of Steam Box. And we finally got some information about that. They actually set up a booth at CES, showcased a number of prototypes for Steam Box. This is one of them right there. Just a small PC. They already stated that while the finished product they haven't decided yet, the OS will run Linux, and it'll run, all of Steam Big Picture, but they're not going to lock it down per se. So if you really wanted to buy one of these systems, and you say you wanted to throw Windows on it and make your own HTPC just using their hardware, you're more than welcome to do so. They're not going to lock this down. I think that's actually kind of nice. There was an announcement actually of a partner, XI3, working on their own version of the Steam box with Valve, and it's codenamed Piston. Now, this little gaming box actually is pretty beefy in terms of how strong it is. There's actually demos of the company rolling cars over this chassis and not losing a single frame rate. So we have no idea about the total details other than rumored to have a quad-core chip and can support up to 1 terabyte of storage space. So the fact that Valve's come out and finally said all this stuff, fantastic, great. We've been looking for it for a long time. But they also came out and said, do not expect any major announcements in all of 2013. Which means, well, there goes E3. We'll probably have to wait till 2014 for any information. And if we're going by Valve's standard of time, we might not see this product until 2018. But I'm hoping it'll be sooner than that. But I think that's going to be it. Is that everything I have on my listing? Yep. You heard me ranting about the latest anime. Why anime needs to be 3 minutes or less, I never understood that, but okay. But yeah, that's it for this episode of AniBreak. I want to thank you guys for joining me, especially Kathy the Goth. She actually is her first time joining us here. Also, happy birthday. If you guys want to message me or just follow me on Facebook and Twitter, it's OtakuLife Jason. And also on Sundays at 5 p.m. If you want to expand more than just anime and video games, I also co-host another show called From My Mother's Basement at 5 p.m. With Michael Underwood. And we basically celebrate everything being a geek. So we get to have a ton of fun. We go through a bunch of different stuff. I'll just say that right off the bat. Yeah, it'll be fun. I think you guys will enjoy that. But I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Stay tuned for a short post show. And I think that's going to be about it. So, yeah, for AniBreak, I'm Jason. Thank you guys very much. And I'll see you guys next time.